I hold you, God.
So today's talk is on how to stop relying on miracles. I didn't quite mention that when I was saying, because it is on miracles. And this will make sense as I go along. I want to start with a couple of quotes as I do. So welcome. Luck is everything. My good luck in life was to be a really frightened person. I'm fortunate to be a coward, to have a low threshold of fear, because a hero couldn't make a good suspense film. Alfred Hitchcock. God gives some more than others, because some accept more than others. Ernest Holmes. I chose to speak about miracles because I want to allow more into my life to embody that vibrational match of miracles, as Mary Morrissey talks about, a vibrational match. I've really been focused on that lately. And what Alfred Hitchcock recognized was that his greatest weakness was his greatest gift. And this English director, producer, he had a net worth of $10 million. What he did was he took his fear that was in his mind and he projected this onto the screen or a film. And this got me pondering about what I project onto my screen of my life from my thoughts. And I took several days coming up with what was my greatest weakness in my thinking that was keeping me from this miracle state of mind. And I came up with the need to micromanage. I have this, I might deep down inside, I might say, yes, I'd really like some help. But there's this other part of me that just says, oh, just go ahead. You want it done a certain way, just do it yourself. And I noticed I do it around my finances and around my teenagers, which I also realize disempowers them from being part of their expression. And when I started pondering the story of what I was projecting out onto my movie screen, I comprehended that there's two voices. So the one voice that goes off in my head is this micromanaging voice that says, hurry up, you should go check in and see how things are going, or what are those kids up to? It seems like it's awfully quiet. Or it might say, you really want to get that job done quickly. You better do it yourself. You'll do it just the way you want. And then I remembered there's this other voice. It's quieter. It's kinder. It says things to me like, you got this. Relax. I got your back. We've been through this before. You let go. I step in. I do it easily. Just go meditate. Go for a walk. Do some breath work. This is clearly the voice of my divine nature, the thing itself, the I am that is within me. And the voices are always speaking inside of our heads through our thoughts. And I know that what I perceived as my greatest weakness is actually my greatest gift, because I started to transform and shift my paradigm, my perception to allow micromanagement in my life, but toward my thoughts, toward my divine nature. So it brought me into center, letting me focus on that which I want to focus on, my divinity. And then everything becomes like this seamless miracle when I live from that truth within me. And looking at my what I perceived as my weakness, it also allowed me to see where I block my own divinity. Like Ernest Holmes had said, God gives some more than others because some accept more than others. Well, truly my own flow, the miracle of who I am already, that's what gets me in the flow when I acknowledge that part of me. The miracle is right here. So I realized that I needed to invite myself, and I invite each of you to let go of looking for a miracle out there, whether it's in your health and you're looking for this great miracle of a healing, or whether it's paying the rent or a mortgage or relying on something outside. Instead, what I really grew from this week is I turned and I looked inside and I saw what was playing on my screen outside, And then I turned back into my thoughts and I took stock in the areas of my life where I might be where I was clearly blocking the flow mentally, like fretting or worrying or talking about dramatic events or complaining about my finances or about my husband or my kids. And instead, I went to learn the really attuned to deciphering which was this voice, my micromanaged voice that was again, working against me, to taking that micromanagement aspect and putting it toward my divinity and seeing my greatness and seeing all the small aspects of what all these little pieces that bring me together and make this divine expression. And it allowed me to make healthier choices, I noticed as well this week. I didn't go over my finances at night, which is never a good thing for me to do because I take that in my sleep. And I noticed that I got myself in a position where I started to realize that by transforming and attuning to noticing the miracles that are happening within my mind of what a divine being I am, I'm starting to change my thoughts, and that's changing and showing up in this outside picture, of what's reflected out on my movie screen. And I realized that I'm the producer. And when I work in unison with the divine within me, I don't need to micromanage others. I just need to micromanage my own mind. And what an asset this has turned out to be for me, because this week, I had a great opportunity. It's almost like it just comes up for the healing whenever you do a talk, because that week, that's your whole focus. You embody it. And I had no idea how many places that I've been micromanaging in my life and how many areas I've been blocking the own flow of the miracle of who I am every day. The thoughts within me were obviously where I didn't give it up to God. I do. So, I might say yes, I'm a minister. And yes, there's still parts of me that don't fully trust. And where it wasn't me, my thoughts, and not the universe against me, it's in me. Maybe you have areas where you don't fully trust or have total confidence in yourself, or like me, micromanage around financial details, or my teenagers. And this week, I had this real estate transaction. It is the most challenging one I've probably ever done. There were equity trust companies. It was 2 simultaneous deals. There were 2 different bank managers. It was like everything was doubled. And I started noticing that I started micromanage. Well, did that person do what they were supposed to do? Did this person do what they were supposed to do? Well, maybe I better follow up. And yes, there's a healthy amount of follow-up. I really started to get anxious. And as soon as I started to get anxious from our last week's talk, I went, whoa, 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 whoa. And it hit me. I'm part of a whole. I'm the individual expression of the divine. In science of mind, we embrace the understanding that God, the universe, source energy, that it has taken on the unique individual form in and as us, each of us, in fact, in all creation. We're not human and divine. We are the thing itself. We are that. Many say, it got me thinking that many say we are spiritual beings in a human experience. I say we are spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in the physical form. I am that. You are that. We are the thing itself. And the day that when all the details were to come together and we were ready to close on this real estate transaction, of course, many other things that I could have micromanaged come up, but instead, I opened up to trusting. I started looking online for something to open me up, and I came across this great exercise from Kathy Hearn, Dr. Kathy Hearn. So we're just going to do it together. It's super easy. All you need to do is we're going to raise our arms up in a V and just allow yourself to close your eyes and embody the greatness of the divine. This is a symbol of science of mind as above, below. Just who you truly are at your core. You are the miracle made manifest. And when you bring your arms down, bring that extra love and that light into you as the individual expression of that presence of the divine. Bring it into you. In truth, we constantly, we are this miracle of the divine presence. They say, ask and we shall receive. We're told that. And then we still fret. And when we stop and we rest and we take an inhale with the universe, a deep pause like we just did, we start to commune and trust in this creative flow. We realize that we are fed by it. We're fed by ideas. We're fed by inspiration like now. And we remember that this source energy is the wellspring where all our vitality, everybody says, where do you get your vitality? It's the divine within me. We're not by ourselves. There's no need to micromanage. God has our back. It's not good luck or good fortune or a miracle that brought Alfred Hitchcock $10 million. It's the sharing of his unique individual self through film that brought his result of receiving into form. This is not the Jayne show or the Alfred Hitchcock show. It's a unique expression of my divine nature. And it's within each of us. And it brings forth, and it might show up and have the appearance of a miracle, but the miracle's always present. It's God. We just attune to it, the thing itself. We are that. And when we raise our arms up, we embody that divinity. One sec. How appropriate, my next line. We may stumble, but always there is that eternal voice forever whispering in our ear. It is the power in all of us, the miracle, the greatness of who we are. And when we step out of our littleness, or in my case, releasing micromanaging of others, we realize the magnificence of who we are. This is what frees me. And I invite you to embody your divine nature, even more than you've done before. Greater health, allow greater health today, greater cash flow, greater vitality. If we look at that we are on this earth school and that we are eternal beings, it's even a miracle for this body, our minds, and just to be able to be in relationship with other people. It's a miracle. I noticed that this week when something gets me upset, I realized as I was talking with a prayer partner of mine, that she was talking about her eyes and how the fluid isn't allowing her to see. But I thought about that and I thought something as simple as the fluid, too much fluid in the eye or too little that makes it dry. It creates this beautiful perfection of how the eye moves, yet it either slides or it doesn't slide perfectly. And when do we notice how perfect it is up until it doesn't work properly? It is already a miracle. And I feel that as we discover our connection with the divine in and through and as us, that we already are the miracle. And my weakness of that I perceive micromanaging to be, it's become my strength. In that when I become honest with myself where I'm blocking my own flow, I looked at these areas this week and I realized I didn't trust fully my divine nature. And so I started to step outside of seeing how everything is working perfect. And I noticed my own vision where it was blurred, where it was dry. And to me, it's like this bubble that follows me everywhere, this divine bubble. And when I'm micromanaging, I'm separate. I'm seeing myself separate from the whole. And it's me that's against me, not the universe. I took time this week to help out a friend on the weekend, and she was really distraught. Her boyfriend had dumped her. She was working 2 jobs, and they weren't paying very much. She was moving into a new apartment. We all know what moving's like. I sat with her that weekend. I meditated with her. I was totally there for her. I was texting. I said, you got this. God's got your back. I did a lot of prayer work. And then what seemed like a miracle showed up on Monday. She had 2 job offers for $80,000. Now, it may have looked like a miracle, but miracles are inevitable. Inevitable. They're scientific. When we do the work and when we consciously align with the divine, she aligned with her divine nature, her own miracle of who she is right now. I invite you to do the same. I invite you to embody that divine, that greatness, and just breathe in these words as I put them forth for all of us in the different tenses. I am open, and I open my entire being today to the reality that God, the universe, source energy, that which I am, we are that. The thing itself, I am that. You are that. You are a miracle. And I live in the alignment with my highest spiritual truth and know that I'm a blessing to the world and you are a blessing. We are a blessing. And as I close, I just want to invite you to just lift your arms up in a V again and just say with me, I am the miracle made manifest. I am the miracle made manifest. One more time for great measure. I am the miracle made manifest. Thank you. I love you.
I hold you. I hold you.